Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Mars coming at you over the interwaves with another Starcraft 2 cast. And this one sent in by members of the community to castit.reddit.com. If you'd like to have your games cast, take a replay, upload it to GG Tracker, drop.sv2, or whichever one your favorite place is, and submit it to castit.reddit.com, and a member of the community, myself or somebody else, will get down to it. If you would like me to cast it specifically, send it to marshgaming@gmail.com. That is marshgaming as the name of this channel. Include some information about yourself, like what that stands for, maybe what your clan is, and I can make it a little bit more personal. Anyway, over on this side of Invader Ladder Edition, we have the Wobsitopian, and the wrong keys for Marsh, who is going for a hatch first. Over on the other side, we've got a Caleb with CalebAracus. So Caleb, otherwise I'm going to bollocks that up. Anyway, we've got hatch first for both players, but we've got an earlier gas for Caleb. Now, just a little bit of background information. Caleb looks to be about Grandmaster, whereas Wobsitopian is Master, and this might be Storm Gaming. Maybe it may just be something that looks like it, and this would be whatever the hell this is. So we've got ZVZ on Invader, and we've got vertical spawns with both people checking horizontal. Wait, did I say horizontal? I meant vertical spawns. I probably said that right, or maybe not. And both going to check the horizontal spawn location first, so there's no scouting of early pushes, but by this time I guess both know that that is not indeed the case. So with the earlier gas having been taken by Caleb, he's not actually doing anything with it, and there he puts down a baneling nest in the wall nicely to help against any Zergling run-bys, whereas Wobsitopian will get the earlier speed. So we may get some Zergling baneling action. 2 Zerglings versus 2 Zerglings, which I think is not. We've got 4 Zerglings for Caleb, so he's got another 2 at home. And scouts coming in for these guys. Going to scout this, going to scout the main as well. That is not going to be denied. So a full scout for... Oh, no, he doesn't see the other gas. Okay. Well, in the meantime, Wobsitopian knows even less than his opponent. So I guess that's still a win for him in his book. Roach Warren and an early third for Caleb. So we've got possible early Zergling Bane aggression, especially with a number of Zerglings coming out. And Wops will have roaches to defend that, and he's going to have 6 out, so that should be there in time to deal with that. And if he manages to keep Wobsitopian on the other side, who did see that, however, I should be able to, get this third up and running with little to no problems. A little skirmish there, which Wobsitopian is going to get the best of, and we've got 3 Zerglings right here who just noticed that there are roaches and should... Nice target fire there. That should tell them that this is, pretty much the end of this wave of aggression, at least. Getting his own Roach Warren and getting a Spinecrawler in defense in case Wobsitopian wants to go and be aggressive with these, which would leave him very much vulnerable to a backstab by either of these groups. This group entirely spotted, but this group spotted now. So 35 workers for Wobsitopian, 32 for Caleb, but there is that third base up and running for Caleb, and these 3 roaches are in fact going to be enough to take out the Zerglings. Does lose a roach though. But first missile attack is going to finish up quite a bit before his opponent, and so will roach speed, so he'll be able to actually, you know, retreat, whereas if his opponent tried to do something similar, he's going to get, well, nowhere. That's 1 Baneling, sees his opponent's roaches. Zergling engage. Oh, that was a fairly nice Baneling shot, but just 1 Baneling isn't generally enough to do really much of anything against a large number of roaches, except a little bit of softening up. And this is where that roach speed does come into play, as Wobsitopian can just go away, but he chooses not to do it. He chooses to come forward. Does have the roach advantage here. Taking out a couple of roaches of his opponent, trying to make sure that that Spinecrawler does get killed. And now we are pretty equalized with the defender's advantage firmly in Caleb's favor, so he should be able to push this off right there. And we've got more army units coming out for both players, and roach reinforcements are there to make sure that Caleb is once again driven back. And Caleb still doesn't have roach speed. No, he does not. 16 roaches to 13. Home ground advantage, high ground advantage. So not the greatest place to attack. Nice concave right there by Caleb, as Wobsitopian again retreats. In the meantime, both sides have 1-1 up. And does... No. He does actually have a lair. And he's got a three gas. And nothing is mining here or here. So we've got third bases, but they're for show mostly. Caleb finally getting his Glial Reconstitution, and the second attack upgrade started by Wobsitopian, and maybe a second evolution chamber for a second set of upgrades. Can't really imagine what else he'd do with it at this state in the game. Well, he is... Nope. Look to take an investor's pit there, but going for a Hydralisk then instead. So we could have seen a Vipers sucking that thing dry, but no, it is actually probably going to be for 2 upgrades at the same time, and there it does start. 53 versus 42 workers now. So we've got Caleb trying to take the economic advantage, building a second evolution chamber as well, but Wobsitopian is actually going to take the gases, so he's got quite a lot more gas income, and I'm imagining he'll try and do something with these, not going for the lurkers, going instead for the Hydralisk range and now speed. This changed a little bit in case you are not a regular watcher of Starcraft. There used to be 2 separate upgrades. One was the speed off creep, and one was the attack range, and now they come in both at the same time. Caleb keeping his Overseer active for scouting purposes, and sending a bunch of units to check on that 4th, which is being taken, as his opponent also does it. Neither deciding to go for this base. So that's going to be found by his opponent. Maybe. He knows it's there. Maybe he's trying to wait until it finished, and he's got another group somewhere else so that he so that Wobsitopian can't just swoop in and save it. There's the first drone. Welcome. Nice bit of creep spread by Caleb, whereas there's not so much by Wobsitopian, or any for that matter, which is not quite as nice as I personally like it. Oh, there's a big transfer there. 56 workers to... Nope, he's got 71. Did that just switch around, or have I been looking at that incorrectly? And we've got Hydralisk coming out for Caleb as well. So we've got, well, a little bit of a passive game so far. Well, both people up. He's going for for a lurker den though, and this guy is also going for a lurker den. So yeah, pretty much mirror images of each other, give or take. Nah, not mirror, but going for the same thing. We've got 2 more Hydralisk and a couple of more roaches, but we've got more roaches for Caleb, as well as Ravagers and a few less Hydralisks. So that will actually even out a little bit there. Gases, extractors are built on that 4th, but not mining from it. And yeah, there's a Caleb slowly spreading his okay. Caleb slowly spreading his creep, but Wobsitopian content to not see much of anything. So Caleb or Wobsitopian doesn't know about that 4th base, though he should really suspect as much. We've got we got layer coming in. We've got the layer coming in. That's not hive. Yeah, sorry. Oh, we've got a giant attack there, and I was looking at the base, and this is what Caleb put those roaches there for. He put them there just to make sure that whenever there was action on the other side of the map, he could move those in, and he's going to absolutely murder that base. Well, Wobsitopian on the other hand, doing very well on the front lines. Those lurkers really zoning out his opponent, and he's going to take down that 3rd base very, very nicely. So 1 base for 1 base. But Wobsitopian's in a very nice spot to push forward and go to the 2nd, or push back and take out that 4th, which he probably still doesn't know is there. Nope, he does not. Instead, choosing to move back to make sure that these guys don't come in and wreck that 3rd base. So 1 base versus 1 base, that was very nice. A lot more workers killed for Caleb, but Wobsitopian had more to lose. So, you know, to retake that base, and same by Caleb. So Wobsitopian and possibly also Caleb may want to invest in some static defense to make sure that doesn't happen again. Wow, that's a little bit of an oversaturated base. And taking the gold, which does get spotted. So Caleb knows about this thing, and he's about to find out about this one as well. But he's got a couple of other things he should be worried about, such as this giant army in front of his base. Now let's see, we've got more lurkers for Wobsitopian, and what does he have? Well, Caleb has position. Caleb has a good position. Can you take out the overseers? Yep, and there goes the detection. No, he's got another one, but does Wobsitopian snipe it? No, he does not. So we've got a little bit of a back and forth between 2 minefields. Oh. And where's the protection of Wobsitopian? Yep, that did take out that lurker that was taking pot shots at his army. He moves his entire army, including his lurkers, to, devastating effect. And he has the detection where his opponent does not. Nope, no, actually. Both of them still have an overseer, and there's quite a bit of more army left for Caleb as there is for Wobsitopian. Wobsitopian, who's got 1 base up again, another base up again as well, whereas Caleb is still doing weird things with his drones. Now we've got a lot more roaches for Caleb, which he can use to, you know, soak these first couple of shots as he moves in and kills these. There's 3 lurkers remaining there. Now Caleb doesn't know this. There's that another run by, but there's a free Hydralisk for you as Wobsitopian moves his entire army back. Is that the same hit squad that hit the Oh, it looks like it, yeah. It is going to get cut off now. Well, loses one, loses... Nope, just loses the one. And Caleb didn't use this little pullback in order to get into a different position. Maybe something on the high ground would have been nice. And Wobsitopian hasn't put his workers back to mining, nor has he saturated his gold base. Then again, neither has his opponents. Have we got 3-3 on the way yet? No, but we may have a melee switch for... we don't have a hive yet. It's not done. We also don't have static D being done here. Maybe this run by, which is still not getting any workers, but if they get the base, then that's pretty good. Nope, that should take care of those bunch of roaches, and it does. They get one Hydralisk, which is pretty neat. A 2-2 upgrade. Oh, and now we've got Caleb moving in right there and takes up quite a nice position. Make sure that his lurkers get into a very nice forward position where he doesn't even need to pull back. They're just firing at will and they melt his opponent's Zergling force. That was very nicely done. As Wobsitopian is going for the Greater Spire. Interesting. Caleb also built his spire, but he's going for Mutalisk and quite a few of them. But with your opponent, that, you know, he's got quite a few Hydralisks. It's either going to absolutely wreck some mineral lines, or they're going to fly straight into this and get horribly murdered. So much for your changelings. Does he still have detection? Ah. Well, that might explain that. He can move in and just take care of all these lurkers, but he doesn't have any way to see them. So instead he's going to use them in a harassing manner. He takes out a number of things, and GG. Nice play. Let's see, did we... I don't know. That is a lot of Mutalisk, but I mean, Wobsitopian wasn't... Well, he was out here. He was fairly low here. This one wasn't retaken, so he was in a little bit of you know, economic problem area. But yeah, this isn't unsurmountable, I suppose. Anyway, GG. If you enjoyed this video, press that like button. If you'd like to see more of me, subscribe.